Hello you beautiful peeps, my name's John, welcome to my channel. This is the MJX version 2 10208, and in this video we're going to be looking at the ESC and how to set it up with your mobile phone. Let's get on. So just a quick update, today we're going to be doing the ESC, and then on my next video I'm going to be going into all of the parts that have been changed on this new version 2. So make sure you subscribe to that and check out the video when that is released, probably tomorrow. Now, I have in fact uninstalled the app that connects to the ESC. Yes, you can use your mobile phone to connect with Bluetooth to your ESC on this fantastic car. But it's got several settings and I wanted to go through them because there's a couple I was a bit unsure of. So I've got the information together, as you can tell. I've uninstalled the app, so I'm going to show you how to do that very quickly and very easily. So for this to work, firstly the car has to be on. So that is on. And so is the car. I will place that over there because that actually is not required as such. So I've got my QR code reader here and I've got Android and iOS. I will do the Android. So we go to open, straight to the snail ESC and press install. I don't need that anymore. And then open. You've got to hit OK to give it permission and then refresh. And it picks up the ESC straight away. So select that. Once it's got the tick there, press go, and we're in. You can see the voltage there, 2.52, 2.51. I will, in fact, put the car on the ramp here because I want to show you the ESC in operation. So, you see how the voltage goes down a smidge when you do that. It's very cool indeed. You're going to get a lot of information out of this ESC, which is pretty good. I need to remember to not hit accelerate now. So anyway, you can then go into the settings. This is something on my previous video that I didn't want to adjust, and I will probably just put it straight back to reset to default afterwards, but I did want to go through it with you. So as you can see in the bottom corner here, I am screen recording, so I think I'll just put that on the screen as well. So running mode, you have forward, reverse with brake. So that is pretty much what I think everybody would have it set at. You forward, brake, reverse, brake. You can just do forward with brake, no reverse, and you can do forward with reverse, no brake. You may want to do that if you adjust one of the other settings that I'll show a little bit later. Then, drag brake, here we go. This is where I'm going to start getting a little bit technical because people will ask the questions. The drag brake is a setting on the ESC that controls how much braking force is applied automatically when you let off the throttle without actually activating the brake. So in other words, as you're accelerating, you lift off. On most of the bashing cars and whatnot, you just want it to keep on going. However, on some, like a crawler, you'd want that to automatically brake, almost like an auto brake. So that is obviously set at 0. You can do 5, 10, 20, all the way up to 100%. So next one, cut off voltage. That is for the actual LiPo battery to protect it from receiving any damage. Leave it at the 3 volt. That's pretty much what most will have it set at. So then we have throttle rate punch. Throttle rate or punch controls how aggressively the ESC delivers power to the motor when you accelerate. It's essentially how quickly the ESC will respond to you actually accelerating. So in other words, if you have it set all the way at 1, you accelerate and it will take a little bit before it actually starts accelerating away. Choosing the right punch level depends on your driving style and the terrain. The lower levels provide smoother control, with the higher levels being more aggressive. So I would suggest that for the likes of gravel and things like that, you'd have it set a little bit lower, but on tarmac, just you've got most grip there, don't you? So again, I'm not going to adjust that there. Then we have the maximum brake force. Pretty self-explanatory. I am going to move this up so those that wish to read the whole thing can, but that is going to be how aggressively it brakes. So like on tarmac, you probably have that set quite high, but if you were to have that set like to maximum, let's do the maximum brake force. So all the way up to 100, you can imagine on the gravel, all four wheels would lock instantly and you just start to spin out of control constantly, which is why it's set a little bit lower. I don't think I'd have it any lower than the 75% personally, though. So maximum reversed force, which is pretty much what you expect it's going to be. The maximum power for in reverse. Most people would want it set pretty low because when you reverse, beep, beep, you want to ensure that you have control of that. However, some people may want to go at full speed in reverse. I can't think of any reason to do that. Control would be very, very difficult. But again, you can see the settings that you have available to you there. Right, what do we have? Initial brake force. It says the same as the drag brake, which is what we the first one that we did. Let me move that out the way and explain more in detail. Initial brake force determines how much braking power is applied when you first press the brake. It's the starting level of the braking force before the maximum brake force kicks in. Gentle, almost like ABS for your brakes, I assume that would be. Would I use it? Probably not, but there you go. Those that wish to know now know. So the neutral range, this is very much, if you've done like, if you've got controllers for your PC and stuff like that, it's what would be classed as the dead zone. If I just sort of do the last bit here, I don't have to explain that. If you're racing or performing precision movements, you might prefer a lower level for a quicker response. So that is basically, I was about to accelerate there. I knew I would do it. So that is where the accelerator would start to respond. So 6% is pretty low. So it would start to accelerate obviously a lot quicker than if it was set to the 12%, that you would need 12% travel before it actually started working. So that car is going off this desk. I just know it is. The BEC voltage is set at 6. It can go up to the 7.4 as well. The battery elimination circuit. I've heard BEC before, but I actually didn't know what it stood for. So it was quite nice to actually go through this myself as well. Eliminating the need for a separate battery pack for your receiver and stuff like that. I will not go through it in detail because those that wish to read can read, but where was it that I found interesting? If you're using a standard servo and receiver, 6 volt is usually the safer choice. However, if you're using a higher voltage component, beefier, stronger servo, for example, then you may require the higher voltage of the 7.4. So that's in those instances. Now, this is an interesting one because you've got motor rotation. Clockwise on is actually set for from the start, which basically means which direction the motor travels in. Okay, just a quick update. I made a mistake, so I've just gone back and I'm re-recording this for obvious reasons, because I assumed that when I hit the counterclockwise and hit OK, that it's set. It is not. So, clockwise, counterclockwise, this is the front of the car. The car front wheels will spin like so. However, do it with counterclockwise, hit OK, and you have to hit save. Now the wheels should go this way, which they do. I just thought it didn't work earlier when I was testing this, so that is something that I've learned. That little save button in the corner, I didn't see it, ladies and gents. I'm so sorry. So lipo cells. Now this is the one that is actually quite important, so much so that I have written leave it on auto, because the reasons why you would change it I'll explain in a moment, but basically if you're running a 2S battery pack, you'd put it on 2S, 3S or 4S, as you can see there. But why would you change it? Why would you not leave it on auto? Because surely auto is the safest. Because if I have it set to 2S, plug in a 4S, I'm going to fry my ESC. And that seems like a very risky thing to do. However, it's got to do with manually setting the cell count allows for a specific tuning based on your preferences or requirements. You might want to limit the voltage for more controlled driving, especially for beginners or in conditions where maximum power isn't necessary. Compatibility: some older or less sophisticated ESCs may not have a reliable auto detection. This is obviously brand new, so it shouldn't have an issue with that. So having it on auto should in fact be quite accurate. Auto detection may sometimes fail or be influenced by fluctuations in power. Manually selecting the count removes the risk of incorrect detection. So I assume, like for example, if you've got a 3S battery and it's running quite low, you plugged it in, it could detect it as a 4S. Sorry, a 2S. And that's a little bit worrying, isn't it? Because surely it could then blow, which would not be good. But I think running the risk of, for example, I do a speed run, I've put a 3S battery in and then I just throw in a 4S battery, but I've got it set to 3S. I've now blown that ESC. Is that a risk I would take? Definitely not. I'm leaving it on auto. You do what you wish. I know what I'm going to be doing. There's obviously a few other reasons for doing it, but essentially it's if the auto detection doesn't do a very good job, bang, it go big bang bang, and that's not what anybody really wants. But I have to say, if I have it set to auto and it goes bang, I think I'd be trying to claim a replacement, but that's just me. You do with it what as you wish. So that is it for the settings. You also got the restore default there. Save if you do any of the adjustments. You hit save. Aha! That's why it didn't work. And we're back after that adjustment. Right, so I've now saved this again. I am going to save it one more time to make sure that everything is as it was and should be. TS correction. When the option light is blue, the value is default. When the option light is green, it means non-default. Maximum throttle. Oh, okay, so this is basically calibrating your controller. I am not going to adjust that at all. Thank you very, very much. So that is all of the settings for this ESC, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you found the video useful. If so, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to jump over to John Robinson RC, because that's where we're going to be testing the car outside. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.